Got a Sprinter in here today, and we're going to try and put a new hedge unit in, which will be good, and we're going to do the double light up the top. We'll give you reverse and a rear view, so we'll go ahead and do that. So you got 2 torque screws that have to come out, and like then you're going to get a trim tool in here or something. You can just slowly go around the outside and like lever it out. You can see it's got like a seal here, so you can just get that to come off, and then the whole light will like pull off, and it's got a connector. Oh, there we go. You can see I destroyed the seal a little bit. It's got a connector on here that we just unplug, and that's the old one out. So pretty straightforward to take out. So here we have our replacement one here. So you can see the original. That was the original. It's gonna like match your like original spot, and that is the camera there. And what we do need to actually change over the LED bar on the inside. So you actually keep the original one of that, so that like plug will still work. Then we've got our cable coming here. It's a 7-pin cable because we've got 2 cameras here, reverse and rear view. And then that's gonna plug into here. Sorry, that's gonna plug into there. This is gonna run down the roof liner, and the other end's gonna like pop out at our rear view mirror, and we'll plug it into here. You got video 1 and video 2 coming out the RCAs, and here you've just got ground and power for like both the cameras. So you probably power them both at the same time. I'll cover that in like a second. And here we have the new like seal. So we'll just like clean up the old seal before we go and put it back on. So you like pop the old one out of here. If you had a couple like flat heads in, you can just actually lever up both sides and kind of like push it out as it comes out. And you just need to slide it into the new one. So you start from like one end and slide it in, and it'll just clip like back in. Just like make sure you have it up the right like way. And this cable here is going to just be tucked out the bottom here. So you can see I've put it in here. You just stick the steel on one side. I like clean up the other side, and then we'll peel that off at the end and we'll stick it on. But you can see it's been like pushed through. I pulled out the clips here. These clips have, I'll show you, a clip over the top. So if you get a trim tool in there, you just need to pop out the like sandwich together. So you got to like unsandwich them, and then you can like pull them out quite easily. And then like with anything like this, you want to just like leave it kind of like sitting here for now. And we've like pulled our cable through, because I get the hand through the back. We want to actually like run this and get it all working first before we go and actually screw it in and put the stick gasket down. Now it's going to depend on your setup here. If you just have a cargo van, it's going to be much easier to run. It's like a motorhome so actually set up. We've put the cable under here, tucked it in here. We've got to here. We've actually pulled the trim off, and we've put a long cable threaded down the side here. I'll show you where we started from and we like managed to get in. So we pulled the seal from the door, and we managed to get it through there. A little bit of like mucking around, but that's going to be pretty tidy. And we're going to go up, above, and then back to the rear view mirror. So from there, we just pulled this like seal off. We like tucked it in around here, pulled this like seal off as well, tucked it through to here. And you can see it's like coming out here now. We've like popped off this, is just on clips, pulls out that way. We're gonna run it through and clip it on to the rear view mirror with our like clip-on system here. But what we always do is we want to power it up. So that's the one coming from the camera here. Video 1, video 2. That's all good. And then we've got power for camera 1, ground for power for camera 1, ground for power 2, power for camera 1, ground for power 2. So again, both of these, you might as well have them powered up the whole time. It's up to you. And then on our screen here, we basically just have a trigger wire, a power, and a ground. So we're going to go to power and ground, and we will probably put this trigger wire to the reverse camera. And so this case, we're going to need like 4-pin 2 RCA adapters, because this screen is like made for the 4-pin aviation cables. In the future, we might get this one with the 4-pin connectors on it, so it will save this little step here. The camera just like clips on like that. So if you put it on the bottom, stretch up the clips, you can see the clips on the back, all looking pretty good. This here, we're going to tuck up into here, but we're just like running the cable with a cable puller. You can actually pull the glove box down just by pulling these tabs down. They're pushing them up. And we're going to run the cable back this way on this actual cable puller and get it up through there and up to there. We've pulled this like trim off. This trim just has clips, so it just pulls straight off, and then we'll go and put it together. So I'll show you how I've wired this up here, but basically we've got reverse happening, and we've used one of our aftermarket head units. So you can see that's the camera that's actually pointing down. We've got trajectory lines coming in, which is quite cool. So the trigger and the trajectory lines for that actually come from the CAN bus in the car, because this unit has a CAN bus. And then up here we have the rear view camera put in, which is a bit high at the moment. Now you could have like both feeds like coming into here, and you could actually tap this one to the trigger. So when you go into reverse, it like shows that. I find it like best if you do have a head unit and you can have reverse coming into here. It's like best to have them like both coming in, because like that way you've got sort of two views. I'll adjust this camera down a bit, and I'll show you how that's done. And I'll just go through and I'll show you how it's all hooked up too. So this cable here was from our cameras at the back. So we got a V1 ground and a V1 power. In like this case, we've actually taken the ground and power for V1 from the actual like head unit FCAM plug. But you could like take that from any like accessory source. And on V1 and V2, we've actually like taken this from accessory behind the head unit as well. So actually these two have two different power sources here, because we've actually powered this to just come on when the head unit's in reverse. But at the end of the day, you could put like both of these to the same power source, and that'd be all good. And then the RCA cable here for V1 has just gone into an RCA cable that's plugged into the back of our head unit. And for the V2, we've put it to like a 4-pin adapter, and it's gone into our AHD 1 plug here. And this is coming down from our monitor, and this is our monitor actually. Sorry, I lie. It's into our AHD 2 plug. We'll probably actually swap it into 1, but that has the 4-pin adapter on it. And we've also powered the other monitor, which is just out of these two, off that. Now, if you weren't like using our head unit, you would probably have this trigger wire here, hopefully somehow tapped into your reverse trigger, because that way when you like go into reverse, it would like automatically change our screen up there. If you're not like automatically like changing it, it means you're gonna have to push the button on the screen to change it. So that is sort of how we have all wired up like that one, and hopefully it does sort of make sense to you. And I'm going to swap these around and like tidy it up, and then tuck it up on the glove box here. All the cables are really, we just got to pop this off. There's a screw here. We get the cables in behind the glove box and put them up the pillar there. There you have it. To put your screws back on, unpeel your back seal. Now I'll make sure you make sure everything's clean. Push it down nice and hard, and then put the screws in, and do make sure it's very tight. So you want to go back over and check this, and I'll climb up and just check the top there that you're happy with that like seal. Because if you're not happy with that seal, you're going to get a water coming in. So that's where you want to be careful of. Now you can adjust these by going so moving them up and down. I'll show you where I've got them at the moment, and you can see how that sort of looks. And so we like ran it in through here. We managed to get behind our shelves there, and we've like put all the wires up behind here. And I'll show you what we got in here. We're like running one of our head units, and then one of our clip-on screens up here. So the whole point of that is just to keep everything coming through. So you can see that is what our rear view camera's like seeing. So that's probably pretty spot on. I'm pretty happy with that. You could probably like shift it up a little bit if you still wanted to. And we'll come in here into reverse. And that's what our reverse camera's seeing. So you can actually see that line there. We're just starting to see at the bottom of our rear view, which that's about so actually spot on. And you can see you've got your trajectory lines working there as well. And now the wires are tucked behind the glove box and tucked up into the trim up here. So all very good.